Hey everyone, so today's video is my review on the new Fanatec V2 base and the Porsche 918 wheel. So before I get started, I'm going to talk a little bit about the equipment that I used to have. I started iRacing with a Logitech G27 wheel, and I had it mounted to my desk running off an iMac computer, and then ran that for a little while. The iMac computer graphics card sucked, so I bought a gaming computer. And then I upgraded my seating situation to the Bmw Revolution Racing Cockpit. I got these three 27-inch LG screens from BestBuy.com. These are refurbished screens, so it was like 150 bucks off the original price, which was an awesome savings for me. And then, so I was running all this with my G27 for a little while. And then I had my eye on all this nice Fanatec gear, and I happened to be at a casino one day and won $1,300, which is the exact amount of all of this stuff costs. I have the Clubsport shifter, pedals, I had the V1 base, and the Bmw Rim. So it's pretty awesome. Kind of got it all for free if you want to think of it like that, and I was really excited. I've never had any buyer's remorse. All this stuff is awesome, feels great. It's heavy duty, high quality, and it'll last forever pretty much. So I treat it all very well. That's why I think it'll last forever. Yeah, so the guys at Fanatec, they reached out and they sent me the Porsche 918 wheel and the V2 base to test out. And first, let's talk about the V2 base. So when I first plugged in the V2 base, I dialed in all my settings to what I had on the V1. And right off the bat, I noticed a big difference. My user preference settings is the damping all the way up in the sim and on the wheel. So it had a heavier feel to it, and that's what I really like. The force feedback was a little bit better. Excuse me. Let's see, the force feedback, not a huge improvement, but it's still an improvement, a little bit snappier, I guess. I don't run it super high, so I mean, maybe if I ran it a little bit higher I would notice a difference, but I think I run it in the sim at 13 and 120 on the wheel. I think that's like the best. I don't know, that's just what I use. It's not the best, it's just what I like. After running with the V2 for a couple hours in a practice session, I plugged the V1 back in, and that's when I noticed that it is a huge difference. Huge difference. When I first used it, I was like, yeah, it's different, it's cool, it's better. When I plugged the V1 back in, I just noticed how much of an upgrade this thing is. So I'm really happy. I'm going to hang on to it. If any of you out there have the V1 and are looking to upgrade, this is a must. If you don't have Fanatec gear right now, if you're running off a G27, all this stuff is so much better than that. It's a huge upgrade. They discontinued the V1, so you're gonna end up with this thing, and it's awesome. So first of all, this wheel is much lighter than the Bmw Rim. They say it's like 30% lighter, but you can definitely tell the difference because the force feedback and everything else, you can feel it more in the wheel because there's less weight to lug around. Also, these shifters, they are way more adjustable than these. On the BMW, they're hardly adjustable. There's so many different configurations that you can do with these. I like them really, really close, so you can get these very close to your fingers. These you can't really do much, but I don't use the shifters much anyways. I just use the right shift pedal as my push to talk button. But so every once in a while I go in a test session to mess around with a Corvette, and so when I use these feel much nicer than the ones on the Bmw Rim. The only thing that is a drawback for me on this wheel is it's wrapped in leather, or a leather-like material, opposed to the suede or whatever this material is on the Bmw Rim. So when I start racing, in a race, typically they're 35-45 minutes, your hands get sweaty. On the Bmw Rim, this material absorbs the sweat, and this doesn't. So my hands get a little sweatier using this thing, and I don't know. If this was wrapped in suede, I would definitely hang on to this because I like the shifters, I like the feel of it. The button layout is an improvement, and they're all black buttons. It looks better than this rainbow. I don't like to iRace with gloves on. Some people do. I have gloves, I just don't use them. And yeah, so if I'm racing barehanded, my hands are gonna sweat a lot more with this wheel opposed to this one. So I think I'm going to keep racing with this BMW Rim. But overall, you know, this wheel is better than the BMW Rim. I just like the feel of the wrap on this one better, so that's why I'm gonna hang on to it. That's why I'm gonna send this back. And I don't know, if I was racing with gloves, I would for sure end up with this wheel over this one, because it does feel better, but you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of this video. There's a bunch of other videos on these two products out there on YouTube that have more specific details on all the little trinkets on them, and yeah, you probably have seen those already. This is just a video on my opinion on them, and yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.